Hello, and welcome to the j.gray Report. Have you ever had a vision, an idea that was ahead of the curve before its time? In 1992, what Bruce Timm and Paul Dini produced laid the foundation for the greatest animated universe of all time. And that show was Batman, the Animated Series. Any fan of the medium will tell you just how great this show is. The motivations of Mr. Freeze, the nostalgic tip of the hat amidst a perfect adventure for Adam West's Gray Ghost, the introduction of Harley Quinn. This character, her core inceptions being the Joker's henchwoman, and then maybe something more, leading to his girlfriend, and now Harley Quinn is a fully fledged anti-hero who just recently graced the silver screen, brought to life by Margot Robbie. So we have seen success birthed out of an amazing animated series that epitomizes the best of Batman. And for any creator to add something new or to add a new character, it's a delicate balance because you have to please the hardcore fans. You have to add somebody that makes sense in the universe. And not only does Harley Quinn make sense, she's one of the leading figures. And she's the best-selling female comic book hero, at least on the DC side. So Harley Quinn is awesome. She is now a fully fledged anti-hero, and there is a series happening right now that we're going to be talking about today, folks. Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy definitely have some history. These two characters get along very well, and they even had their own dedicated episode in Batman the Animated Series and Superman the Animated Series, Girls' Night Out. So these two have enjoyed their company on screen, on the television, and we have enjoyed watching their relationship grow and change and develop. So Harley Quinn now headlines films. She headlined her own movie. Now she has her own animated series, which is produced by Paul Dini and Bruce Timm. It is mature, it is hilarious, and it gets the DC characters right, which is the most important thing for any established IP. I was so impressed with season 1 of this show that when I was on the stage presenting the exclusive sneak peek to a scene in season 2 during the Mortal Kombat 11 Final Combat event, I was 100% authentic. This is one of my favorite shows, period. And it belongs on the same shelf as Batman, the Animated Series. If you don't believe me, just watch the first episode and see how right they get the DC characters. Let's talk about season 1. Season 1, Harley breaks away from Joker. She wants to be part of the Legion of Doom. She puts together her own crew, and it's a lot of fun. Hijinks ensue, and if you haven't seen this season, you are in for a rip-roaring good time. Again, you can watch it right now on DC Universe, or I believe it's airing on Sci-Fi. So after season 1, a number of things happen. So at this moment, folks, we're going to be talking about spoilers, okay? We're 3 minutes and 42 seconds into this video. Spoilers are starting now. I'll let you know when they stop. Season 2 continues the fun adventure as some of our characters grow closer together. And it's totally worth watching as soon as you can. I highly recommend it. There's something very fascinating that happens this season. Okay, warning, again, season 2, spoilers. Catwoman makes a couple appearances, and she is so slick and so cool. But you start to see some of the personality traits of Poison Ivy come out when she is just praising and fawning all over Catwoman. It's like you can tell Poison Ivy has a crush on Catwoman. And they're part of the Cobb Squad, which I thought was great, all getting Cobb salads. So they nail Catwoman perfectly. I mean, she's hijacking jewels left and right without you even noticing. I want to hang out with Catwoman. But the most important relationship that develops in this season is the relationship between Poison Ivy and Harley Quinn. And they spend the time diving into the relationship they have together ever since the first time they met at Arkham, and how Harley treated Poison Ivy like a person and cared about her. It was really the first time that Poison Ivy had any had anybody treat her nice in a long time. And during, the breakout session, you see Poison Ivy start to actually care about another human and care about Harley Quinn. And throughout season 1, they have multiple discussions and flashbacks where Poison Ivy explains to Harley how she helped her and how well she helped her as a doctor to get out of her current state. And how Poison Ivy was trying to do the same thing to Harley, who was still in her state of being in love with the Joker, even though the Joker treated her like crap. So this dynamic between the two, trying to be the best for each other, being there for each other, supporting each other. And Ivy always getting dragged into these crazy adventures that Harley Quinn finds herself in. The relationship, the friendship is so established and the roots run so deep that this evolution into season 2 feels natural. It feels right. And there's a strong bond of love between these two characters as friends, and it develops into something more. And the way this relationship develops, despite all the external complications, feels natural, real, and in character. It wasn't a token box tick that can be easily cut out to appease authoritarian markets. This is in the DNA of the show, and they're not shying away from it. Now, what is so fascinating about this, and why I wanted to make an episode about this for the week, is that Harley and Ivy have a relationship in the past that the creators hinted towards during the cartoon, but couldn't dive into for a variety of reasons. One, there's a children's cartoon that was taking place, usually airing in the afternoons or Saturday morning. And two, you couldn't really dive into this deeper stuff in any type of children's or quote-unquote children's program in the 90s, even though Batman the Animated Series and the whole DC animated universe is made not just for children. It's made for the part of us that's in all of us, be it child or adult, that clings to that ideal of doing the right thing and being a hero, if you have powers or not. So the episodes that you can go back and watch in Batman the Animated Series, you can see that type of relationship, that positive reinforcement as friends and maybe something more. But today, we have a lot more than 13 television channels. Digital distribution has helped open the entertainment market for all sorts of content. In terms of business models, it's easier for a show like Harley Quinn to exist, but even the subject matter would have been more difficult to produce due to the majority of public opinion. Everything has changed ever since the 90s, some for the better. But if we can examine how our culture and our society has changed over the last 30 years, on how there was so much pushback against any type of representation or characters that were LGBTQ+. And now, it's as if the world or the audience is craving for that type of authentic representation, not token representation, not changing an already established character that we can see through the facade. You're doing this for the clicks. You're not doing this for, the roots of establishing a character that people can look to as a beacon of representation. No, they did it right with Harley Quinn and Pamela Isley. This is a thing of beauty. I want to go back and watch season 2 again. I've watched season 1 twice. Season 2 I've watched once. But I look forward to watching it again because of how well they crafted this relationship. Well done to everybody involved. We have so much more content and ways to enjoy content that caters to so many more different types or kinds of audiences. But when you can make something so universal, like an animated series that features DC characters that are loved around the world, that's a risk. That's a mantle of responsibility. But the people behind this show have been working with these DC characters for the majority of their careers, and it shows. Well done, once again. In 1992, the powers that be deemed the world wasn't ready for a Harley Quinn, Pamela Isley power couple. In 2020, they're here, they're queer, and they're right on time. watch the show if you haven't seen the show. I also want to give a shout out to Grace Randolph at Beyond the Trailer. She puts on some great reviews and some great insights to what's happening in the world of Hollywood. If you're a fan of Zack Snyder and the Snyder Cut, which I am, she was the first reporter to break it that I know of, but has been consistent in her reporting when it comes to DC. So go ahead and give her a follow. Now, for the giveaway this week, Shabisti! I loved a lot of the replies that I got on the chat, folks, so even I did a random selection for the winner. It was tough because I'm like, damn, there's a lot of great comments on last week's video. But Shabisti says, honestly, I've always defended Snyder's films. Justice League, you watched one time. Yeah, I watched Justice League a second time recently, and you can just tell it's a Frankenstein monster of a film. And yeah, we only saw a third of what Snyder filmed for the Justice League movie. So he's looking forward to more Cyborg. I am too. Zack Snyder says Ray Fisher is the heart of Justice League. Ray Fisher is a great actor. He does a great job as Cyborg in Justice League. So more Cyborg, yes please. Darkseid, oh my god. Darkseid is amazing in Harley Quinn Season 2. He gives some of the best therapy anyone in that situation could hear. I even hear the words of Darkseid echo in my mind of, am I trying to fill a hole? Ooh, in my heart. Damn, that stuff runs deep. Darkseid knows his stuff. I can't wait to see him in the Snyder Cut, man. Darkseid scares me. After watching the Snyder Cut, I'm going to rewatch the Marvel Initiative cut and compare. I hope it's really better. I'm not familiar with the Marvel Initiative cut. Just has to be better and different. Well, I think that's definitely what we're getting with the Snyder Cut. Better and different. Okay, folks. So this upcoming giveaway, we're going to do your thoughts and your comments on Harley Quinn, Season 1 or Season 2. If you have any spoilers, make sure to tag them, but I want you all to watch the show and let me know what you think. You can sign up for a free 7-day trial right now on DC Universe, and next week's giveaway winner, I'll go ahead and take care of their monthly subscription for DC Universe. I sincerely hope that Harley Quinn makes it to HBO Max. It belongs there. I hope all of the DC content moves to HBO Max, because it would be great to read comics on that platform as well. Thanks so much for tuning in to the J. Gray Report. I will see you next week.